Hello fans and good afternoon and welcome into a Volcanoes sponsored high school game of the week here at Volcanoes Stadium. My name is Evan Giddings as Woodburn High School will be taking on Lebanon in a 5A conference matchup of the Mid-Willamette Conference Valley here today. As Lebanon enters the game at 8-7 in the Mid-Willamette Conference, 10-9 overall, and Woodburn still looking for its first win this season, currently slated at 0-18 overall, 0-15 in conference play. Lebanon currently so far in the season 5th in the conference, with Woodburn last, as we're just about set for first pitch. Slated for 4:30 is a bit of a downpour has begun here at Volcanoes Stadium. Was a relatively nice day throughout the remainder of the afternoon, slated around 65 degrees as the wind continues to blow a bit north to northwest. But nonetheless, we will take on the conditions and come through here today as Woodburn is taking the field. We'll get you your starting lineups in just a moment as Lebanon will get set to go to the plate first. And so defensively here for the Woodburn Bulldogs, it'll be Julian Benavidez in left field, E.J. Contreras in center, another E.J. of Barajas in right field, Marco Orta at third base, Jesus Ortiz at shortstop, and Jose Ortiz at second base, with Sam Miller at first, Yuri Cruz behind home plate, and Manny Angulo on the mound for the Bulldogs. As for Lebanon, the starting lineup, it'll be Kevin Crowell leading it off, with Antonio Medina batting second, Adam Rapp batting third, with Cody Johnson in the cleanup spot, Jacob Kripe batting fifth, Jesse Gregory in the sixth hole, with Cade Verbeck batting seventh, Aaron Osborne batting eighth, and Clyde Rude rounding it out. Corral, the leadoff batter, which is just about ready to come to the plate after these warm-up pitches, will also be the starting pitcher this evening for Woodburn, as Manny Angulo has begun to take the bump, starting those warm-up pitches, as he will be batting in the cleanup spot as well. So nonetheless, a bit of a dreary afternoon as the fog has truly rolled in. The rain has begun to come down, not necessarily too harsh at this point, but could definitely provide some adversity for these high school players here today. And so, like I mentioned, two 5A Mid-Willamette Conference teams. Lebanon 8-7 in league play. Woodburn 0-15 overall, and in fact have only won 5 games in their past 2 seasons, I believe it was. So the Bulldogs, looking for a victory here today, have allowed 207 runs so far this season. That is the most in 5A. Have been able to muster just 44, where Lebanon has done a good job of staying in the positive run differential column. 112 runs scored for them, 98 allowed, as they are ranked 9th overall via OSAA, despite being in 5th place in the very competitive Mid-Willamette Conference. And so we're just about set to go. It appears that Crowell has stepped to the right side of the batter's box. Angulo onto the mound, finished with his warm-up pitches, and we're set for first pitch. Infield creeping in a bit from the left side as Orta a couple of feet onto the grass as the first pitch is on the way here from Angulo. A fastball that misses high and outside for the first pitch of the ball game, 1-0. First pitch, 4:32 p.m. as Angulo, the right-handed pitcher, works from the windup. And a fastball too far inside. That got a piece of Crowell as he turned his shoulder right off the edge of the jersey. And that's going to be hit by pitch to begin this ball game. And so now Antonio Medina, the 2-hole hitter, will come to the plate. Lebanon led by head coach Jeff Stolzig. Woodburn's head coach is Craig Webster. Another first pitch on the way here to Medina is a fastball up and in. Taken for a ball, 1-0. Lebanon in their road red jerseys with the Warriors across the chest in white, tapered in blue. It's the 1-0 pitch on the way, fouled backing off the screen. Here 1-1. Woodburn in their home blues with the Bulldogs across the chest in black, tapered in white. So the runner on first, Crowell, takes his lead. Angulo working for the windup now as the right-hander comes set. Checks the runner at first. Peaks now fires as a fastball inside. Runners on the move as the throw goes down to second base, not in time. And Correll has himself a stolen base to begin this ball game. Pitch was up and inside, 2-0, or pardon me, 2-1. Now the pitch is on the way, a bunt right there from Medina, fielded by the pitcher Angulo, fires it up the first base line, just off the glove of the first baseman. Miller squirts away, and that'll allow the run to score. Correll was off on the pitch as the sacrifice worked effectively, but then an error on the pitcher Angulo allowed the run to come across for the first one of the ball game, and just like that, quickly, as 1-0, Lebanon is on top early. Still nobody out as Medina reaches first, and now Adam Rapp will step to the plate, a right-handed batter. Runner on first still. First pitch on the way. Fastball spanked back off the screen here, 0-1. Pick-off attempt over to first base. The tag applied by Sam Miller, but not in time as the runner Medina was back in with a head-first slide. Outfield shifting. Wrap towards that right side as now the runner will take off. Curveball too far inside. Throw down to second base is not in time as the throw didn't even get to second base. It was more of a one-hop to the second baseman there, Ortiz, who was covering. And so a stolen base for Medina as Lebanon looking to take advantage early. Yuri Cruz, the man behind home plate, is the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball rode right back up the box. That's going to get down for a base knock. Into center field as E.J. Contreras will play that one back in. Medina, who didn't look like he got a good jump off that ball, will head over to third base as Lebanon collects their first hit of the afternoon, a single by Adam Rapp. So still nobody out with now runners at the corners as Cody Johnson, the cleanup hitter, will come to the plate. Johnson batting .375 on the season, leading the team with 14 runs batted in. So Agulo now pitches. The batter shows bunt. Throw goes down to second base as the runner was on the move. As the runner on third base will stay put. So Rapp has himself a stolen base. Already 3 swipe bags for the Warriors as they look to be taking advantage of this backstop here for Woodburn. With a fastball missed inside, it's 1-0. And it appears that Woodburn will not elect to bring the infield in. Angulo now works from the windup. Fastball right down the middle, blown by him on the inside corner. And it's 1-1. So Johnson with ducks on the pond. Runners on second and third now. There's a 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball low and outside, misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. The middle infield, Jesus and Jose Ortiz pinching up the middle, trying to keep that runner close at second. There's another 2-1 on the way. Fastball outside corner, in for a strike. Nice placement there from Angulo as it counts 2-2. The rain has subsided a little bit, although continues to drizzle down. As Angulo in the windup, 2-2 pitch on the way. Changeup low in the dirt, blocked by Cruz. A nice job right there to keep it in front as the right-handed batter Johnson did not offer, but nonetheless the count will run full. Benavides in left is shaded Johnson towards that left field line as the payoff pitch on the way. Fastball fouled back off the screen. Johnson stays alive. Count stays at 3-2. On deck for Lebanon is Jacob Kripe, the left-handed first baseman for the Warriors. As Angulo, a shake, now has his sign. In the windup, kicks and fires. Slider low in the dirt outside. Nice take by Johnson as he will take ball 4. Another free 90 here for the Warriors as they have reached the hit by pitch, error, walk, and base knock. So the bases will be loaded here for Kripe as the third baseman, Marco Orta, went to the mound to have a couple of quick words with his pitcher, Angulo. Hopefully calm him down a little bit as there's still nobody out. A 1-0 ball game here early on in the top of the first inning. Lebanon over Woodburn as the first pitch is fly deep out to left field. Playable there for Benavides, who tracks back, now loses it a bit in the sun, and that one's going to fall. That one will drop as the runner from third base will come in to score. Medina walks home. The throw comes into the infield quickly as Benavides able to get it in, but not before he loses it out there in the fog. Maybe the ball with that white facade casting down from above had trouble tracking it, and as a result, that's going to be a base knock. An RBI single there for Kripe in the second run of the ball game in for Lebanon. So Medina comes in to score as Jesse Gregory, the right-handed batter, steps in, takes a first pitch strike over the outside edge, 0-1. Johnson moves up to second base, Rapp up to third. As the 0-1 on the way is a fastball too high there, evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Gregory batting .289, making his 18th appearance this season. Total of 11 hits for the young right-handed batter. As the 1-1 pitch on the way is foul tipped into the glove there of Cruz. 1-2. The first time this game that Angulo has been ahead in the count. Just simply has not been able to find much of the strike zone here early on. 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball popped up over the right side. Cruz will give chase towards the dugout, but is going to let that one run foul out into the bleachers. Count stands at a ball and 2 strikes. So 2-0, Lebanon with the lead here in the top of the first inning. Still nobody out. And a pair of hits for the Warriors as the 1-2 pitch on the way. Slider waved at and missed. Nice pitch right there from Angulo as Gregory's down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Of the ball game, I should say, is now Cade Verbeck. The right fielder for Lebanon will step in. First pitch on the way to him is a fastball that misses high and inside. So 1-0 to Verbeck, who's batting .250 on the season, has struck out a team-high 10 times as the 1-0 pitch is right down Main Street, 1-1. 8 runs batted in for Verbeck as the 1-1 pitch is fouled back off the screen there, 1-2. Here's that Angulo has some nice velocity behind that fastball, just possibly because of the wet conditions or another reason, just simply hasn't been able to settle in. Plenty of runners on base thus far and hasn't got necessarily a lot of help from his defense. A fly ball that probably should have been caught out in left field off the bat of Kripe, the 2 batters ago. Couldn't be tracked down by Benavides, and there was also an error committed by Angulo himself in the second batter of the ball game that allowed Crowell for the first run of the ball game to score. Is now a 1-2 pitch on the way, fastball high. 2-2. Going to get himself a ground ball as the middle infielder's Ortiz shifts at the middle, and a ground ball right to the second baseman Ortiz, but gets by him to the left of Ortiz as that will allow 1 run to score. They're going to send the runner from second base and Johnson all the way around. He walks home as the throw will come in too late, and a pair of base runners score again for Lebanon. They lead it 4-0 here in the top half of the first inning. So that one, an error charged to the second baseman, Jose Ortiz. Looked like he was going to his left, and then kind of a funny hop off the lip of the grass where it meets the infield, squirted away to his left, and he wasn't able to recover. So instead, 1 out. Runners at the corners now for Aaron Osborne, as Angulo appeared that he was going to be set to throw. Now steps off the mound momentarily as he's back on. Now comes set, kicks and fires, first pitch, a bunt, but a pop-up right to the first baseman, Miller. He'll step on the bag as the runner was off and moving, as Verbeck has doubled off first base, and then will end the top half of the first inning. And so we'll head to the last of the frame as Woodburn will come to the plate. Due up for them, it'll be Marco Orta, EJ Contreras, and Jesus Ortiz. When we return, you're listening to the Volcanoes High School Game of the Week here on Volcanoes Television. My name is Evan Giddings. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Smile beat my chest up. You're downright dangerous. That shaking you giddy up. Got my eyes going what? Sipping on this 7-7. Never been this close to heaven. Got it pretty turned up to 11. Dropping on dead on the dance floor. Somebody better call a doctor. She's a little hard stopper. I'm talking breaker, one-nighter. She's a flatliner. Oh, she's a flatliner. Tell 'em about it, Dirk. Dang girl, I'm done. I ain't never seen no one popping it like a cold one. Drop it down like oh my, see the light. I don't mean the neon kind. Want a kiss from you tonight and send me on to the other side. Sipping on this 7-7, never been this close to heaven. Got it pretty turned up to 11, dropping on dead on the dance floor. Somebody better call a doctor. She's a little hard stopper. I'm talking breaker, one-nighter. She's a flatliner. You got it, bro. You got it.
And so now we come to here in the bottom half of the first inning. Already a 4-0 lead. Lebanon over Woodburn. The Volcanoes High School game of the week. Here's the first pitch on the way from Kevin Quell. Is in for a strike to Marco Orta, 0-1. So working quickly from the windup is Crowell. Another fastball. Fouled off towards the right side out of play 0-2. As we'll get you the defensive lineups here for Lebanon. Left to right in the outfield, Cody Johnson, Aaron Osborne, and Case Verbeck. Shading Orta heavily towards the right side as the 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball low in the dirt, blocked right there by the backstop Clyde Rude. The count a ball and 2 strikes. Left to right in the infield for the Warriors. It'll be Adam Rapp, Jesse Gregory, Antonio Mendina, and Jacob Kripe. With the aforementioned Clyde Rude in the squat and Kevin Crowell on the mound as the 1-2 pitch on the way from the right-hander. Fastball roped him up inside, tied him up, I should say, as that is the first out of the last of the first inning. One away as Orta is down on strikes. So now E.J. Contreras will step to the plate here for the Bulldogs. As Crowell has his sign from the windup. Kicks and fires. Big curveball too far inside, though. 1-0. The rest of the order for Woodburn, it'll be Jesus Ortiz on deck in the 3-hole. Manny Angulo in the cleanup spot. Sam Miller batting 5th. Yuri Cruz batting 6th. As the 1-0 pitch, a changeup misses low. 2 balls, no strikes. So Cruz batting 6th, E.J. Barajas batting 7th, Jose Ortiz in the 8-hole, and Julian Benavides rounding things out batting 9th. There's a 2-0 pitch on the way. A fastball waved at and missed. Contreras couldn't catch up to that one. Might have chased ball 3. Nonetheless, the count now 2-1. That's Crowell. Kicks and fires. Fastball right down the middle. Actually dropped out of the glove by Rude, but nonetheless still called a strike. It'll even up the count at 2-2. As the rain continues to come down, the overcast has befallen Volcanoes Stadium. 2-2 pitch on the way, slapped down the right field line, but slicing foul out near the bullpen area as a couple of Lebanon Warriors will sprint down there to collect that foul ball. A nice piece right there by Contreras. Certainly able to barrel that ball up, but unable to keep it fair. So now with the new ball, 2-2 pitch on the way from Quell. Ring him up on the outside corner. Strike 3 called right there on the black, and it's back-to-back strikeouts to begin the ball game here for the Woodburn offense. Burrell showing no signs of the rain affecting him here early on thus far. As with 2 outs, Jesus Ortiz will step to the plate. First pitch, changeup floats in for a strike over the outside edge, and it's 0-1. So 4-0, Lebanon leads it. Only 2 hits in that top half of the inning as a curveball bends too far and in the dirt here, 1-1. But helped by a couple of errors, some mishaps from the Woodburn Bulldog defense, including from their pitcher and the man on deck, Manny Angulo. There's the 1-1 on the way, fastball. 2-seam runs too far inside, and it's 2-1. So a pair of errors and a pair of hits results in 4 runners scored for Lebanon, as the 2-1 is called for a strike up the outside corner. Seemed a bit low, but evidently caught the knees. That's 2-2. So Corral looking to get out of this inning quickly. 2-2 pitch on the way. Curveball low in the dirt, blocked by Rude. Offered at by the batter Ortiz, but did not go around. As the outfield shading Ortiz heavily towards right center. Aaron Osborne just a couple of feet from that right center field side as this one is popped up. The payoff pitch over in foul territory. Over and making a basket catch is Clyde Rude. A nice play ranging over toward his right. Had to go about 15, 20 feet to make that grab. Fighting the rain as well, but is able to get the job done. And it's 3 up, 3 down inning there for Kevin Crowell. So through 1, 4-0 Lebanon over Woodburn here on Volcanoes TV. You're listening to the Volcanoes High School Game of the Week between Lebanon and Woodburn. Coming up for the Warriors in the top half of the second, it'll be Clyde Rude, Kevin Crowell, and Antonio Medina when we return. So we head to the top of the second inning with Manny Angulo back out on the mound for his second inning of work. First pitch fires and a fastball popped up into right center field. Drifting over is E.J. Contreras, the center fielder, and he drops it right in front of the right fielder Barajas, who will play that one back in quickly, but not before another error for the Woodburn Bulldogs has allowed a runner to get into scoring position. Clyde Rude wasting no time jumping on the pitch and able to put it in play. The center fielder Contreras making the mistake, and now a runner in scoring position with the top of the order and Kevin Crowell coming up. So the starting pitcher who had a 1-2-3 bottom in the first inning, now looking to collect himself a run batted in. Instead shows bunt, sacrifice situation, but bunts it backwards out of play here 0-1. So Rude takes his lead from second base. Angulo works from the stretch against the right-handed Crowell. Peering back to the runner at second base and now fires. Fastball runs low, dug out of the dirt there by Cruz. That's 1-1. Waiting on deck for Lebanon is Antonio Medina. Crowell himself reached in his last at-bat on a hit by pitch. Stole second base, is now a bluff to second base and a pickoff attempt. Nobody was home though, as the runner on second, Rude, was back in with a head-first dive. So Corral stole second base, ended up coming around to score on the error by the man on deck, Medina. Now a pickoff attempt over into second base, and he throws it into center field. The runner dove back in, now gets back up, runs over to third base, and is in with a head-first slide as Contreras tried to throw it in over to third, but not nearly in time. As an error by the pitcher, second one of the day by Angulo, allows the runner to reach third. So already appears now 4 errors committed by the Woodburn Bulldogs in just one inning thus far. Now a fastball chopped on over the left side, out of play, foul. The count will be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two-one pitch on the way, slider. Fought off over to the left side near the Woodburn dugout. Count remains 1-2. So Angulo working with the runner on third base. Kicks and fires in the 2-2. Spoiled the pitch as that slider was well off the plate, but able to get a piece of it was Correll. Keeps himself alive. 1-2. So Angulo with the sign. 1-2 pitch again on the way. Fastball. This one grounded up the third baseline. Correll just able to keep himself alive. Some good pitches here from Angulo, who has only allowed 2 hits just far, 4 errors from the defense from Woodburn, and already demonstrating a couple of the reasons why they haven't been able to find themselves in the win column so far this season. 1-2 pitch on the way. Slider popped up over the right side, drifting into foul territory towards the first baseman Miller. He can't find it. Tried to make an over-the-shoulder basket catch, but could not. As the ball drops just about 5 feet in front of the Lebanon dugout. And again, with second life, almost feels like third life at this point, Kevin Correll stays alive in the count 1-2. So Angulo at this point will try to have to do it himself. Comes set from the stretch, 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball hit high and deep out in left center field, giving chase as the center fielder Contreras. He will range and make the catch over the left shoulder. A nice play right there, but far and deep enough for the runner to score from third as Rude walks home on a sacrifice fly from Kevin Correll as there's one away here, but the 5th run comes across from Lebanon as they lead it 5-0. So some nice execution there from the Warriors as they collect their 5th run of the ball game. The second man, Medina, now steps to the plate. First pitch swinging, laces this one into right center field for a base knock. Contreras over to pick it up, play it back in on a hop, but not before a base knock from Medina, who's now 1 for 2. He reached in his last at-bat on an error by the pitcher, Angulo, before coming around to score on an RBI single from the man coming to the plate, and Adam Rapp. Rapp with a pair of RBIs in his first at-bat. Steps to the plate, the right-handed batter with 1 out and a runner on first. Angulo in the stretch, kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and belted high down the left field line, but far out of play. And it's 0-1. The first 5 base runners in that first inning reached for Lebanon before Jesse Gregory went down on strikes. And at this rate, Angulo is just going to have to try and get somebody out as the runner goes. Pitches high. Throw down to second base by Cruz is nearly into center field, if not for the shortstop, Jesus Ortiz, backing that play up. Might have been further than 90 feet as Medina collects his second swipe bag of the afternoon. So now Rapp already with 2 RBIs, an opportunity for 1 more as Medina into scoring position, and the 1-1 pitch on the way. Popped up. High fly ball on the left side of the infield. Now drifting into left field is Ortiz, and he's able to make the catch there, calling off Benavides for the second out. Initially looked like he was having trouble, much like the left fielder Benavides did in left field in that first inning, trying to battle this fog, and the ball kind of blending in with the sky along with the rain coming down, but a nice job there by Ortiz and able to corral that one for the second out. So now Johnson to the plate with 2 down, runner on second. Angulo, first pitch on the way to him is a front door breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1. Johnson, the cleanup hitter, and his first plate appearance walked before coming around to score on the RBI single from Jacob Kripe, who awaits on deck. So the 0-1 pitch on the way. Fouled back off the screen, out of play. 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch on the way from Angulo. A fastball high above the head of Johnson. That's going to get all the way to the backstop as Cruz wasn't able to get a hold of it, and Angulo just kind of let that one fly. In fact, nearly got the bat of Johnson, who did not drop the barrel, and was nearly a foul ball, but instead is going to go as a wild pitch that allows Medina to move up 90 feet closer to scoring at third base. So the 1-2 pitch, this one hit high and deep down the right field line. That is going, and that is gone if it's fair, and it's out of here. Cody Johnson with an impressive opposite field home run, and just like that, it is now 7-0 Lebanon. Johnson with his second home run of the season, collecting RBIs number 15 and 16. 4 runs in the first for Lebanon, and now 3 here in the second, as that home run comes with 2 outs. And now Angulo will work with nobody on, and Jacob Kripe stepping to the plate. First pitch on the way to him is a fastball of the outside corner. 0-1. Kripe an RBI single in his last at-bat before being stranded at third. As the 0-1 pitch on the way. Soft ground ball up the first base line, but is going to tap foul. Collected by the first baseman Miller in foul territory, 0-2. So despite the 7-0 lead from Lebanon, just 3 hits in this game thus far, including 2 in this inning. But 4 errors from Woodburn looming large as the 0-2 pitch on the way, a fastball high above the head of Kripe over the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way back toward breaking ball. A little bit outside, this is a home plate umpire. Here evens up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shortstop Jesse Gregory would await on deck. Should Kripe be able to reach. As Angulo in the windup, the 2-2. Fastball, tap foul off the leg of Kripe himself. Count will stand pat, 2-2. Jacob Kripe, a senior. He's been an offensive leader for Lebanon so far this season. This is a 2-2 pitch again on the way. Slider of the inside part of the plate. Cruz tried to get in front of that, but ruled ball 3. So Angulo trying to at least make these Warriors earn their way on base. Has only allowed 2 free base runners. One of them a walk, one of them a hit by pitch. There's now the payoff pitch on the way. Fastball popped up down the left field line, drifting foul. And it appears that no one's going to be able to get to that one, as that will drop down into the bullpen area of the Woodburn Bulldogs. And again, the count still remains 3-2. Angulo's had to throw a lot of pitches thus far. Hoping he may not have to relinquish any more at this point. 3-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball left side. That's going to get down through and for a base knock. Split the gap between the shortstop and third baseman Ortiz and Otaz. Benavidez will play that one in. And an opposite field single there for Kripe. He's now 2 for 2. So now it appears we have a pinch hitter here for Gregory, as Connor Norris, the senior catcher, will step to the plate. As the first pitch on the way to him is high and above his head, that's going to get all the way to the backstop, as that one just came out of the hand wrong of Angulo. A wild pitch that allows Kripe to move up into scoring position. Still 2 outs here. The Volcanoes High School game of the week. Lucky we were able to get this one in, as the conditions looked like they weren't going to allow it at one point throughout the day, despite the temperature and humidity rising this week. Rain was coming down pretty hard, as the 1-0 pitch is fouled back and out of play here, 1-1. Not necessarily the most inviting of weather conditions as the rain continues to come down, although some might consider this a dry rain, as the batter, Norris, heads up the third base line, is going to talk to his third base and head coach, Jeff Stolzig. A couple of words of wisdom there as now he'll retreat back to the batter's box. Steps in from the right side as Angulo has his pitch. And the 1-1 on the way. Fastball up and inside, cannot get the call. Angulo didn't like it, but nonetheless ruled ball 2. So 2-1 here for Norris. His first at-bat of the afternoon, replacing Gregory, who was 0 for 1, struck out in his first at-bat. Was the first out of that first inning as the 2-1 now on the way. Fastball laced directly back and off the screen here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The second baseman Ortiz tasked with keeping the runner on second there. Kripe on base as he pinches up the middle. Angulo gives him a look and now fires as 2-2. Ring him up, strike 3 called. A breaking ball right over the middle of the plate that froze Norris. And a couple of strikeouts from the 6-hole as that ends the second inning, but not before 3 more plated by the Warriors. 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 runner left on base. As Cody Johnson goes big fly out to right field, an opposite field home run, as him along with Medina and Rude all come across, as now Lebanon has a 7-0 lead as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Coming up for Woodburn, it'll be 4, 5, 6 in Angulo, Miller, and Cruz when we return here. You're listening to the Volcanoes High School Game of the Week here on Volcanoes Television. And so as we return to action here in the bottom half of the second inning, up right now for the Woodburn Bulldogs, it is the cleanup hitter and pitcher Manny Angulo. And a 1-2 count as he fouls a fastball off to the right side, remains 1-2. 7-0 Lebanon in the bottom of the second. 4 hits for the Warriors, none so far for the Bulldogs, but 4 errors looming for that defense for Woodburn has really allowed this score to balloon here as a soft ground ball goes over to the right side, collected by the second baseman Antonio Medina for Lebanon. He goes on to first base in time, quickly went away here to begin the home half of the second inning. And so Sam Miller will now step to the plate here for Woodburn. A quick 1-2-3 inning in the first for Kevin Quell, the starting pitcher for Lebanon, as he kicks in, fires. First pitch swinging there is Miller as he slaps this one back and over our heads here in the press box at Volcanoes Stadium. 0-1. A couple of strikeouts in that first frame as he sat down the first 2 batters for Woodburn on strikes. And now gets another ground ball, a high chopper over to the right side, right to the second baseman Medina. Comes in quickly, throw on the run over to first base to get Miller by a half a step in time, as a couple of 4-3 putouts have the Woodburn Bulldogs quickly in the hole here in the home half of the second inning, and there's 2 away. So now the catcher, Yuri Cruz, will step in from the right side as a little bit of action has begun to brew down in the Woodburn bullpen. We'll get that number for you as soon as we can, as the first pitch on the way here from Corral misses high. 1-0. E.J. Barajas The right-hand batter awaits on deck as the 1-0 pitch on the way. Changeup misses low in the dirt, 2-0. So despite the wet conditions, Corral has been able to do very well at keeping that ball in the strike zone as the 2-0 pitch ties up Cruz in a fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Not that the opposing starting pitcher in the first out of this inning, Manny Angulo, hasn't been able to handle it, but Corral has definitely had a lot more help as this one is fought off over the right side, over the Lebanon dugout and into foul territory. Count is 2-2. And while Angulo has allowed 4 hits, really the majority of the damage has come via those 4 errors for Woodburn. There's another 2-2 pitch on the way from Corral, a fastball that is fouled again off into the right side, out of play. Uriel Cruz, a 5'8" junior, 155 pounds. As again the 2-2 on the way. Fastball hit hard, but right to the third baseman on the backhand. Adam Rep squares up, goes across the diamond, and it is in time. A nice stretch over there at the first base side by Jacob Kripe in order to get the speedy Cruz. And a 1-2-3 inning once again. As Corral has faced the minimum through 2, we head to the top half in the beginning of the 3rd inning. It's 7-0 Lebanon as Cade Verbeck, Aaron Osborne, and Clyde Rude will come to the plate when we return. You're listening to the Volcanoes High School Game of the Week here on Volcanoes Television.
We have to say goodbye. I'm counting down until we say hello. Every touch is like the strongest drug. I don't know.
And so as we begin the 3rd inning for Lebanon, Cade Verbeck to the plate as he slaps the first pitch into right center field. That's going to drop down for a base knock. Right in between Contreras and Barajas in right center field as Contreras does a good job playing it in quickly. But nonetheless, a leadoff single here for the Lebanon Warriors as they are right back in business. Already up 7-0 as that represents the 5th hit of the ball game for Lebanon. Now the 8-hole hitter Aaron Osborne will come to the plate. Manny Angulo still on the mound for Woodburn as a first pitch ground ball right to the shortstop. Ortiz goes over to second base for the force, but cannot turn 2 as Ortiz, his counterpart Jose over at second base, was able to get to the bag for the first out, but the speed of Osborne flying up the first base line, unable to turn 2 on him as that is going to be a fielder's choice, and there's 1 away. So now the bottom of the order, and Clyde Rude will come to the plate, takes the first pitch fastball that this is somewhere inside, appeared to be on the inner half of the plate, but nonetheless has ruled ball 1. Rude reached on an error in his first at-bat. Was dropped out in right center field by the center fielder Contreras. Ended up coming around to score on the single by Antonio Medina. So Angulo into the stretch with a runner on first base. Osborne takes his lead. Not a big one, just a couple of steps, and now time is called by the batter Rude. Only momentarily as he now steps back in the box, the right-handed batter. as Angulo has his sign. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Slider over the inside part of the plate, called for a strike. Nice breaking ball there from Angulo of the front door fashion. Now 1-1 pitch on the way. Another breaking ball. This one slapped out of play on the outside, or off the right side of play, I should say, 1-2. As Woodburn continues to have a right-hander throw down there in the pen. Still haven't been able to get a number on him, but hopefully will soon. So Angulo, couple of shakes. Now collects his sign. 1-2 pitch on the way. Popped up over towards the right side. First baseman Sam Miller giving chase down the right field line into foul territory and makes a basket catch over his left shoulder. Nice play there being made by Sam Miller. Had an opportunity to make one earlier in the game, but was unable to flag that one down. But never twice, he says, as he's able to corral this one for the second out of the inning. And so with 2 down, a chance to get out of this inning unscathed. Something they haven't been able to do in the previous 2 frames. 3 runs in the second, 4 in the first for Lebanon. As the first pitch breaking ball is in for a strike there into Crowell, but gets away from the catcher, Cruz, as that'll be a pass ball simply off the glove of Uriel Cruz that allows the runner on first, Osborne, to move himself 90 feet and into scoring position. And the top of the order for Lebanon has really been doing all the damage. The first 4 batters have scored 6 of the 7 runs. Corral, one of them himself, and a sacrifice fly is now a breaking ball too far inside, right off the back. In fact, squarely off the number 3 of Kevin Crowell, as he is hit for the second time this ball game. Led off the game with the hit by pitch. And now here in the third with 2 outs, is plugged once again, and he'll take first base. So now Medina will step in. The right-handed batter is 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. Also a pair of stolen bases as he checks his swing on a first pitch fastball that misses high. So 1-0 is Medina. Scored in his last at-bat off the 2-run home run by Cody Johnson. 1-0 pitch on the way. Hard ground ball. That's going to get passing through the left side. Past the diving shortstop Ortiz as they'll send the runner from second base. And it's going to be Osborne coming around to score as the throw comes in over the cutoff man, and both runners will move up a base. Nice, smart base running there from the Warriors, taking advantage of the overthrow. Benavides was unable to hit the cutoff man, his third baseman, Marco Orta. And a slow throw from Cruz was unable to get the diving Kevin Crowell moving into third base as Medina off the single moves up to second. So now the 3-hole hitter Adam Rapp will step in as he takes the first pitch fastball that misses low and outside. 1-0. Just when you thought Woodburn might have figured a couple of things out, a run comes across nonetheless. It's 8-0 Lebanon. 1-0 pitch popped up high on the infield. A big league fly over towards the right side as the first baseman Miller struggles with it, fights the rain, and makes the catch. Nice job right there from Miller with a couple of good snags in here in this inning. First down the right field line to get Root out, and now to end the frame off a pop-up from Adam Rapp. But nonetheless, a run scored on 1 hit. No errors. 2 runners left on base there for the Warriors, so we head to the last of the third. Coming up for Woodburn, it'll be 7-8-9 and E.J. Barajas, Jose Ortiz, and Julian Benavides. When we return, you're listening to the Volcanoes High School Game of the Week here on Volcanoes Television.
You've been enjoying just a sample of what Pandora has to offer. Sign up for your free account.
So the first bat of the inning there for Woodburn, a sharp ground ball right to the shortstop, as Connor Norris unable to come up with that one. That'll be an error for Lebanon as the first batter reaches for Woodburn. The perfecto at this point is over as the first 6 batters had been up and down. AJ Barajas able to reach on the E6. Now Jose Ortiz will step to the plate. The right-handed batter in as the rain has begun to come down a little harder now at this point, and you can tell with the dirt beginning to look like it's muddy up a little bit as the first pitch is slapped out of play and foul, 0-1. Eight to nothing, Lebanon over Woodburn in a 5A matchup of the Mid-Willamette Conference, as this fastball is tipped into the glove and foul here, 0-2. So a base runner for the Bulldogs, as they've only scored 44 runs this season. They've been looking to make it 45 right here as the 0-2 pitch is popped up down the right field line, giving chase over into foul territory is the first baseman Kripe, but will be stopped by the fence as he pulls up on that one. Count stays at 0-2. Got to wonder how much longer they're going to let this one go, as the rain has really started to come down now. You can see the droplets bouncing in and off the bats of all the hitters. 0-2 pitch on the way from Crowell. Curveball missed on the inside corner as Ortiz backed out of the way of that one, and it's 1-2. So nonetheless, count 1-2. There's a fastball now that misses low here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Corral comes set. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball misses high. It looks like he's really having trouble gripping the ball now at this point. Payoff pitch on the way, slapped up the first baseline foul. So Crowell, who not a lot of base runner, now works with a man on base from the stretch. Payoff pitch popped up over to the right side, playable on the infield as Medina calls off the first baseman. Kripe makes the catch, and there's one away here in the home half of the third. So nice communication over to the right side by the second baseman, Antonio Medina. Kripe was in the area. Also, the right fielder, Case Verbeck, was coming in trying to make a play, but Medina called him off, and now with 1 out, a double play ball could get Lebanon right back in the dugout. And we'll see if they continue to try and let this game go after the home half of the third inning as the first pitch on the way. Fastball runs high and outside. A back pick by the catcher down to first base. The tag applied by Kripe, but not in time as the runner Barajas was back in safely with a head first slide. One 0 pitch on the way. Fouled up the right field line and out of play foul. So 1-1 here to the 9-hole hitter, Julian Benavides, in his first at-bat. Coming here in the third inning as he swings on a fastball that ties him up on the inside. 1-2. Third baseman Adam Rapp is creeping in over on the left side of the infield, just about a foot there on the grass as the 1-2 pitch on the way. popped up over towards the right side. Going to get out of play and foul, though, as Kripe gives chase. That one gets into the bleachers, and that'll be a souvenir here. Count stays at 1-2. So 8 runs here for Lebanon as there's one away here in the bottom of the third inning. No runs for Woodburn. No hits still for the Bulldogs as they have 4 errors. Just 1 error for Lebanon that came here in this inning. That's how the man on first base, E.J. Barajas, was able to reach, as Lebanon has been able to muster 6 hits offensively for themselves. There's another 1-2 pitch on the way from Quell. Ground ball, or pardon me, curveball in the dirt that was blocked off the face mask by Rude. So 2-2. So Corell patiently looking in. Now comes set at the top, has his sign, 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball blew it by him on the outside edge. The third strikeout of the ball game here from Kevin Crowell, as there's 2 down now here in the bottom half of the third inning in the top of the order, and Marco Orta coming to the plate. Orta was the first strikeout victim, first out of the ball game as Corell fires, and that one ground ball sharply up the middle, but right into the glove of the second baseman Medina. He goes the easy way to second base. An underhand flip to the shortstop Gregory, and that is how the inning ends. Our base runner on an error for the Bulldogs, but no more, as Corell shuts it down, has still not allowed a hit through 3 innings, as we will head to the top of the 4th. 8-0 Lebanon over Woodburn here on the Volcanoes High School Game of the Week. Cody Johnson, Jacob Kripe, and Connor Norris when we return here. You're listening to Volcanoes Television. My name is Evan Giddings.
She got a smile that makes your worst day feel like it's your birthday. She's got a laugh like confetti, would change her name if she let me. She's got a way of changing the game. The way that you play is never the same. She's the kind that makes you ride around, windows down, yeah, with the radio. She's the kind that makes you drop your plans, drop a grand, hell where the money goes. She make you wanna cry for her, she make you wanna die for her, yeah. She make you wanna fall, make you want it all, make you wanna call. She make you wanna die for her. The way that she moves, it's like a soft glow, flicker of a candle. She turns my cool into disaster, heart is pumping faster. She's head to toe, body and soul, so beautiful. She don't even know. She's the kind that makes you ride around, windows down, yeah, with the radio. She's the kind that makes you drop your plans, drop a grand, hell where the money goes. She make you wanna cry for her, she make you wanna die for her, yeah. She make you wanna fall, make you want it all, make you wanna call. She make you wanna die for her. She make you wanna die for her.
And so we will begin the top half of the 4th inning here with the Lebanon Warriors stepping to the plate in the form of Cody Johnson. And a new right-handed pitcher on the mound for the Woodburn Bulldogs, and Stephen Kim out of the bullpen as he fires the first pitch fastball right there at the knees on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. So he'll get Johnson, who blasted his second home run of the season in his last at-bat. A 2-run opposite field shot. As the second pitch on the way to him is a fastball that misses low and in the dirt here, 1-1. As a part of the 3-run rally in the second inning, as Lebanon has put a run on the board in the first 3 frames. 4 in the first, 3 in the second. and 1 in the previous third inning. A total of 8 runs. They lead 8-0 here to begin the fourth. And now Kim fires a fastball that misses too far inside off the back of Johnson, and a hit by pitch. Not the way you want to start your appearance, but nonetheless, the third hit by pitch of the ball game by the pitching staff for Woodburn, as that'll put a runner on first base, and now the left-handed first baseman Jacob Kripe will step in. He's 2 for 2, the only member of Lebanon with multiple base hits, and despite that 8-run lead, just 6 base knocks for the Warriors, as Woodburn has certainly given them a bit of a hand, not only with the free bases like we just saw, but also 4 errors defensively. So Kripe takes a fastball that misses outside. And now Kim looks in, has his sign. Works from the stretch. Pickoff attempt over to first base. The tag applied by Miller, but not in time, as Johnson was back in with a head-first slide. So just about an hour into this one, as we approach the 5:30 mark. First pitch was at 4:32. The rain continuing to come down as it appears that we're going to try and finish this one out. A 7-inning ball game as the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball right over the inside corner. Called for a strike, 1-1. So Kripe was 2 for 2. Also a pair of runs batted in back in the first inning. There's a 1-1 pitch on the way. A fastball that misses too far outside, 2-1. Now Kripe himself batting .368 so far this season. Now with 9 total runs batted in on the year. Total of 10 hits, reaching double digits. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Hit hard and deep the opposite field. That's going to split the gap out there in left center field, and that's going to roll. Cody Johnson's around third. They're going to score him. Kripe's going to try and go for third as the throw comes in from the shortstop Ortiz, but not in time, as Kripe is in with a foot-first slide and an RBI triple there to begin this 4th inning here for the Warriors. A couple of impressive opposite field pieces of hitting by Lebanon here in this game. First, the 2-run shot by Johnson, who just came around to score on that play, and in fact marks the 3rd time he has played it himself. But now, Jacob Kripe, a left center field triple from the left-handed third baseman, and that's his 3rd base knock of the game. He's 3 for 3. So 9-0 Lebanon, is now Connor Norris, who came in as a pinch hitter in the last inning, or pardon me, 2 innings ago, will step to the plate as he takes a first pitch fastball outside, 1-0. Replaced Jesse Gregory, who struck out there in the first inning. Norris, same result, struck in his first at-bat as he takes a fastball over the outside half of the plate, 1-1. One pitch, changeup that floats too far outside, 2-1. So 2-1 pitch now on the way. Fastball, chopped on, fouled back off the plate here, 2-2. Still nobody out, as Johnson led off this inning with a hit by pitch, and then the previous batter, Kripe, of course, that triple as he awaits now on third. So right on the precipice of double digits, as now it appears that a pinch runner will come in for Kripe. We'll see if his day is done, but nonetheless, Cooper Brooks, a junior first baseman utility player, will go over to third base. Interesting timing by the head coach, Jeff Stolzig, in a 2-2 count, but nonetheless, pinch runner comes into play. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed as Norris is down on strikes. The 2nd time this afternoon. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. 3 strikeouts from that position in the 6 hole as Gregory struck out in the first, and now Norris, a pair of Ks on his resume, as there's one away for Cade Verbeck, the left-handed right fielder. So now Kim fires the first pitch, fastball to him. This is outside, 1-0. One out here in this inning as Kim floats an off-speed pitch that misses too far high and outside 2-0. Another 2-0 pitch misses low in the dirt. Kim struggling a bit to find the zone here as the rain continues to pour down. The conditions have really hampered the starting pitching staff of the Woodburn Bulldogs, and the starting pitcher Manny Angulo, who was only able to go 3 innings, he also struggled to find the strike zone as the 3-0 on the way. Fastball called for a strike over the inside corner, 3-1. So Verbeck, who's 1 for 2, reached on an error in his first at-bat, reached on a single in the third. Was stranded both times. There's a 3-1 pitch on the way from Kim. His fastball up and tight, ball 4. So a couple of free bases handed out this inning. A walk here to Verbeck, and of course the hit by pitch to begin this possible rally to Cody Johnson is now Aaron Osborne, the center fielder, will prepare to step in. And pardon me, it appears that there will be a pinch hitter as number 1 Brenton Rice will head to the plate. So Rice making his 8th appearance this season, his 9 at-bats, still looking for his first hit. As right-handed batter steps in. First pitch on the way from Kim is a fastball that drifts too far low. 1-0. And so Osborne goes to the bench. 0 for 2 performance today, and did reach on a fielder's choice and scored a run back in the third. But now it's up to Rice to try and get this run in as a fastball runs too high and inside, 2-0. And a big shout out to the Lebanon and Woodburn faithful here at Volcanoes Stadium. Fighting through these conditions and have been all afternoon as the 2-0 pitch on the way to Rice. A fastball popped up over to the right side, out of play, foul. So Kim with his sign. Kicks and fires the 2-1 pitch too high to Rice. 3-1. Runners at the corners in the form of Kripe at third, Verbeck at first base, and the catcher Clyde Rood awaits on deck. The left-handed batter set to come to the plate at this point. As 3-1 pitch, runner moves, fastball's high, and that's ball 4. So Rice reaches for just the second time this season, actually. Hadn't drawn a walk up until this point, but had reached on a hit by pitch, so is able to get on that way, and back-to-back walks now have loaded the bases, as it appears that Lebanon will have another pinch hitter. Number 9, Lane Blissek, a sophomore catcher. He will come in, and the first pitch he will see will be a ball outside, 1-0. So plenty of substitutions all around. Still no action in the Woodburn bullpen. It appears that Kim will be tasked with this inning as the 1-0 on the way. Fastball too high and outside, 2-0. And so now it appears that time will be called, and the head coach here for Woodburn, Craig Webster, will head out to the mound and at the very least just calm Kim down. In fact, doesn't even go to the mound, as doesn't appear that he wants to mess with the dirt or turfus that has become soggy at this point. But there's simply a couple words for his relief pitcher Kim, and now we'll quickly head back to the dugout. So Blissek finds himself in a 2-0 count. Already 3 free bases handed out and a hit by pitch to Johnson. Back-to-back walks now to Verbeck and Osborne as the bases are loaded. A 9-0 ball game. Lebanon over Woodburn here in the top half of the 4th inning. 7 hits for Lebanon, none for Woodburn. Is a 2-0 pitch now on the way to Blissek. Is inside, 3-0. One error for the Warriors, 4 for the Bulldogs. And Kim at this point is trying to will his way into the strike zone. As he comes set in the right-hander, high leg kick and a fire. 3-0 swing, and that one's roped in right field. Past a diving Miller at first base, in for a base knock. That's going to score 1. They're going to wave the runner in from second base as Verbeek comes in. He'll walk home. And a couple of runs have now made it 11-0 Lebanon. So Kim had to go into the strike zone right there, and Blissek knew it. A pinch hit, 2 RBI single. As Brenton Rice moves up to third base, there's still runners on the corners and still 1 out for the top of the order. As Kevin Crowell will come to the plate for the 4th time in as many innings. Kim, first pitch fastball, too high and inside, nearly got a piece of him. That would have been Crowell's 3rd hit by pitch of the game, but instead backs out of the way of that one. And I can't blame him. It's 1-0. And now this one is hit high down the left field line, giving chase as the left fielder Benavides into foul territory, but cannot get to that one. Just a long strike. One-two pitch on the way is in for a strike, 1-2 here to Crowell. So no official at-bats today in his 3 plate appearances. A couple of hit-by pitches, a sacrifice fly. Also a stolen base and run scored as the 1-2 pitch on the way is hit hard, but laced down the left field line. That one hooks foul out of play. So 1-2. Kim, the right-hander, fires a fastball. Foul back off the screen as Crowell stays alive here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Setting his slow down after Woodburn had a relatively nice 3rd despite giving up a run. Still able to move by pretty quickly. Get a couple of quick outs, and if not for a defensive mishap, would have been able to throw up 0 up on the board as now Kim fires the fastball inside corner, ties up Crowell. And that's strike 3. 2nd out of the inning. Both have come via strikeout as Connor Norris was the first victim of Kim. The 3rd batter of the inning, and now Crowell strikes out. And there's 2 away with runners at the corners for Antonio Medina. First pitch on the way to Medina is a fastball that he has to duck under. This is high and inside, 1-0. As Medina's 2 for 3. A pair of singles and RBI. Also a couple of stolen bases. And 2 runs scored for the Lebanon second baseman as the 1-0 pitch on the way is a fastball. Squirts out of the glove of Cruz, and that's going to allow both runners to move up a base, including another run to come across. Rice scoots in from third base. Blissek moves up to second. And it's 12-0 Warriors over the Bulldogs here in just the top of the 4th inning. Also ruled ball 2. So 2-0, pardon me. To the Lebanon second baseman is the pitch is on the way. A fastball over the outside corner. Called for a strike, 2-1. The third baseman, Rapp, would be the man on deck for the Warriors should Medina be able to reach. 2-1 pitch on the way is fisted right over the third baseman into left field. That's going to score the runner from second base as Benavides will play that one into second. Actually, he goes to third with it, and the runner moves up to second. So Medina, a heads-up base running, able to get himself into scoring position off of an RBI single. His third base knock of the game. Blissek comes in to score. And it's 13-0 Warriors as this one has gotten just about as out of hand as the weather here today. the rain has continued to pour, and so have the runs here for Lebanon. 4 here in the fourth, as now the 9th batter of the inning will come to the plate in the form of Adam Rapp. First pitch on the way to him is too far inside. As Kim, coming out of the bullpen, just simply has not only struggled to get outs, but struggled to find the strike zone. Has not been ahead to nearly any batter in this inning. As the 1-0 pitch, soft ground ball right to the shortstop. Coming in, fielding it is Ortiz, throws it on the run. A nice strike over there to the first baseman. Miller stretches and makes the catch. And mercifully, the inning is over. 5 runs come across in the fourth inning, as it is now 13-0. 3 hits in that frame, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. As we head to the last of the fourth, Woodburn coming to the plate. And for the Bulldogs, when we return, it'll be the top of the order. 2, 3, 4, EJ Contreras, Jesus Ortiz, and Manny Angulo. As you're listening to the Volcanoes High School 5A Game of the Week, my name is Evan Giddings here on Volcanoes Television.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can chillax? College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
And so as we come back to here on the Volcanoes High School Game of the Week, it's 13-0 Lebanon as we begin the home half of the fourth inning. Woodburn led it off. First bat of the inning already having come to the plate. EJ Contreras reached on a hit by pitch, and now Jesus Ortiz, the shortstop and 3-hitter for Woodburn, will come to the plate. Kevin Correll still in the game as he fires a fastball low in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, as that'll allow the runner Contreras to move up to second base on a wild pitch. Correll thus far is not allowed a hit, although now 2 base runners, and the first free base handed out. The only other base runner came in the form of EJ Contreras in the third via an error by the shortstop. So Blisek behind the plate now for Lebanon, unable to get to that one. So 1-0 to Ortiz as he takes a fastball that runs high. 2-0. And now it appears that the Lebanon, or a member of the Lebanon coaching staff, will head out there to take a look at not only his right-hander, but it appears the mound, as the rain has let up a little bit, now just had a drizzle, but the damage to the field has essentially been done, as it looks extremely soggy out there, and you got to think at this point they're just trying to get to and through the 5th inning, which at that point they'd be able to call the game not only on weather, but with the lead as it is, a slaughter rule essentially, having Lebanon be up by 10-plus runs. Also a conversation going on down the third base line between the head coaches Webster along with Stolzig for Lebanon and Woodburn, and got to wonder what they're talking about as well, the possibility of how we're going to get this game over with as quickly as possible, as this one quickly turned into a barn burner and really hasn't been a competitive matchup all afternoon long. Not necessarily to anyone's surprise, as Woodburn has yet to muster a win this season, 0-18. Ranked 29th out of the 33 5A high school teams. And Lebanon ranked 9th despite their 10-9 overall record and 8-7 in conference. As Crowell now back on the mound, fires a fastball to Ortiz and misses outside here, 3-0. Another 3-0 pitch, misses it inside. Crowell walks him. Back-to-back free bases handed out. First walk of the game by Crowell, however, is now Blisek will go out and talk to his pitcher, and it appears that will be the last of Crowell. But perhaps not, as actually the coach is coming out for a second visit, but it appears he's bringing an extra man with him. The assistant coach, Zach McKinney, walking out there with a bag of turfus, as Crowell just simply hasn't been able to find the footing on that mound, and perhaps that was the reason that he wasn't able to find the strike zone against either Contreras or Ortiz. And at this point, obviously wouldn't like to give up the shutout, as the cleanup hitter Manny Angulo will step to the plate, but also got to just think about the safety of these players at this point of the pitcher. Don't want to have him getting his cleats stuck in the mud or a possible rolled ankle. And so they're getting some turfus out there on that mound to at least lighten it up a little bit, and it appears that the head coach Solsig is going to head out there with a rake and try and damp this thing down. So we'll take a quick break here on Volcanoes Television as you're listening to the Volcanoes High School Game of the Week between Lebanon and Woodburn. It's 13-0 Warriors over the Bulldogs.
I can honestly understand why it's over. I can go through the motions of walking away. I can give you the key and take my things back. I can find plenty of things to fill my days, but I don't know how not to think about you when it's late at night and quiet. And I know that I ought to be the one who is strong and just moves on, but I probably turn down your road, knock on your door, fall back in your arms, wake up in the morning, hating myself for the way that I can't help the way I still want you. I just don't know how not to, how not to, how not to. I just don't know how not to, how not to, how not to. You're like second nature, baby, you're just like breathing. A melody that you hear and you can't forget. And time goes by and I still need you. Yeah, you were
And so off of the turfus break, there's a ground ball right there from the batter over to second base and on to first in time. They'll turn to 6-4-3 double play as Manny Angulo has doubled up, and one pitch out of the break. There are two away here for the Bulldogs. And runners on second and first with nobody out as Contreras now moves up to third base on the double play. But nonetheless, any opportunity of a rally at this point stifled by the starting pitcher Crowell, as now he fires a first pitch fastball to the first baseman now for the Bulldogs, Sam Miller, ball one. Still no hits for Woodburn as Crowell has pitched a no-hitter thus far, and a breaking ball low in the dirt, blocked right there by Blisek. The count's 2-0. Milner's last at-bat in the second, grounded out to the second baseman, Antonio Medina. There's a 2-0 pitch on the way. Popped up high and on the infield over to the left side. The shortstop, Gregory over, calls off the third baseman, and makes the catch. 3 away. And so that will end the threat of the 4th inning as we head to the 5th here at Volcanoes Stadium. Due up for Lebanon, it'll be the cleanup hitter Cody Johnson, the 5-hole Jacob Kripe, and the 6th batter Connor Norris. When we return here, you're listening to the Volcanoes High School 5A Game of the Week here on Volcanoes Television.
Watch this. I'm gonna take you for a day.
And so as we begin the top half of the 5th inning for Lebanon, we'll start off with a base knock there for Cody Johnson, who laces one right back up the box, sends it from whence it came, and collects his 2nd hit of the afternoon. Number 10 now for the Warriors as they'll start things up again. Stephen Kim still on the mound for Woodburn, as the right-hander will likely be the one to try and end things out. At this point would be a 10-run rule at the end of this inning as Lebanon holds a 13-0 advantage over Woodburn. And so a pinch hitter now for Lebanon is Cooper Brooks will now bat for Jacob Kripe. His day is done and certainly has earned himself a rest. 3 for 3 and 3 RBIs for Kripe, including a triple and 2 singles. Interesting, however, as now the pitch falls too far inside here, 1-0. Sorry, there's a bit of confusion out there on the mound as Kim looked like he was going to step off and then quickly threw towards the plate. Nonetheless, things have settled down, 1-0. Pitch is on the way. It's kind of sprayed or capped off the end of the bat there, 1-1. As Brooks making his first appearance of the day. 12th appearance on the season as he has a total of 15 at-bats under his belt. Just 1 hit, an RBI double. There's a 1-1 pitch on the way. A fastball too far high and inside as Kim is having trouble gripping that baseball. The rain has subsided, but like I mentioned in the last inning, the damage to the field has essentially been done. Extremely wet and soggy, and apart from the turf is applied to the pitcher's mound in between innings, the entirety of the infield looks to be dark as a pitch runs too far inside here, 3-1. Three-one pitch on the way. Capped off the plate and foul out of play here, full count. Payoff pitch is on the way. Fastball runs low and inside. Ball 4. So Brooks able to reach. Runner on first base, Johnson, moves up to second base. As Brooks, that's his first walk of the season, so just his second time reaching for the Warriors, is now right-handed batter in the form of Connor Norris will come to the plate. He's first pitch swinging. Hard ground ball right back up the box. Right to the shortstop Ortiz as he takes himself to second base, then tries to turn 2, but the throw pulls Sam Miller off the bag, and they just get 1. So Norris reaches on the fielder's choice as an out is recorded. Can't technically be ruled an error as Brooks will head back to the dugout, but Johnson moves up to third base, and now there's runners on the corners with 1 out here for Cade Verbeck. First pitch swinging there is Verbeck. Slaps one back and off the screen here, 0-1. And now time is called as the foul ball towards the back of the screen was collected by the on-deck hitter Brenton Rice. Didn't hustle back quickly enough, so the home plate umpire called time. But right back into the pitch as the 0-1 is on the way as a fastball called on the outside corner, 0-2. And now a ground ball through the right side, and that's going to get him for a base knock. Over to pick it up is Barajas, as Lebanon just simply at this point going to run station to station, but not before the 14th run of the ball game comes across for the Warriors. Chase Johnson on the RBI single from Cade Verbeck, and that is the 4th run of the ball game scored by Cody Johnson. He has plated himself each and every time he has come to plate, and now it'll be up to Brenton Rice to keep things going with runners on second and first. First pitch on the way to him is a fastball that misses low here, 1-0. So Kim just trying to find his way out of this one as 1 run has come across here in the 5th. Looking to not have a repeat performance of the 4th in which 5 came to the plate as a fastball floats in for a strike here, 1-1. Rice walked in his last at bat, came around to score on the RBI single from Antonio Medina. Now the 1-1 is a fastball that's high. Gets away from the catcher Cruz, actually over his head, and that's going to be a wild pitch that will allow Norris to move up to second. Norris to move up to third, and Verbeck to move up to second base. Two-one on the way. Popped up high, fly ball on the infield. The catcher can't find it. It might be up to Kim to try and catch that one, and now no one's going to be able to find it as the catcher Cruz simply wanted no part of that one as soon as it went up. Kim looked for him to call the ball, and the catcher didn't even move. So nonetheless, second life here for Rice as it'll be a 1-2 count. 14 up on the board there for Lebanon, none for Woodburn. 11 hits for the Warriors. Still 0 for the Bulldogs. 1 error for Lebanon and 4 for Woodburn. It's the 2-2 pitch on the way here from Kim. One out as it's too far inside here. Count 2-2. So Kim from the stretch, kicks and fires, fastball too far outside. In fact, it actually was a full count as Rice will now take his base second walk of the afternoon. So a left-handed batter, Lane Blisek, will step in. Takes a fastball too far outside here, 1-0 with the bases loaded now. As Blisek in a 3-0 count in his last at-bat Was able to tag a 2 RBI single. Comes to the plate now with 1 out as he takes a fastball up around the letters for ball 2. Two-0 pitch on the way. Grounded hard up the first base line. Foul as it hooks past the bag here, 2-1. Just past the 6 o'clock mark, 6:04 p.m. As the weather has died down a bit, 2-1 pitch on the way. Fastball too far inside, 3-1. So Kim at this point just hoping to get in the strike zone. Definitely don't want to turn this into a walkathon. 3-1 pitch on the way. Fastball, and it is in the dirt, ball 4. So that's going to bring home Norris. 15-0 Lebanon. Blisick takes his bag at first. Rice moves up to second. Verbeck to third. Norris with the first run he has scored today. Now the top of the order, and Crowell will come to the plate as the right-handed batter. First pitch swinging, ropes this one down the left field line, but hooking foul. Just about 5 or 6 feet past the chalk. Over near the Keizer Electric sign down the left field line, just past the foul pole, out of play, and that'll be a long strike. So now the 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball that is in for a strike off the glove of the catcher. Count is 0-2. So Kim working ahead in the count now, 0-2. Fastball just missed outside there, 1-2. Grell in his 4 at-bats here today. 0 for 1 as he struck out in his last at-bat, but besides that, 2 hit by pitches and a sacrifice fly. Has also scored a run and stolen a base. There's the 1-2 pitch on the way here from Kim. Curveball high and above the catcher. Cruz, that's going to get all the way to the backstop, and that wild pitch is going to allow another run to come across. As Verbeck comes across home plate for the second time today. Osborne moves up to third, Rice up to second base, and now, well, at the very least at this point, you got a plate open, or base open, I should say, in case Kim loses Correll in this at-bat. Two-two on the way. Fastball that might have been ball 3 was popped up down the left field line, and that one hooks into the grandstand over on the third base side, out of play, foul. 2-2. Antonio Medina waiting on deck for the Warriors. So Kim trying to get ahead of this one. 2-2 pitch as that one is laced into left field, down for a base knock. That'll score 1 run as they're going to hold the runner at third base, and like I mentioned earlier, the station-to-station kind of movement for Lebanon, but nonetheless, a base knock there for a Coel. That is number 12 for the Warriors, as run number 17 comes across home plate in the form of Brenton Rice. And to say that this game has gotten out of hand is, at this point, feels like somewhat of an understatement. As Blisick moves up to third base, Correll on first. Now Medina in as he takes a first pitch fastball, high and inside, 1-0. So Kim at this point just trying to work fast and hopefully get his team back in the dugout, as this one is fouled off to the right side, out of play, foul, 1-1. Adam Rapp, the third baseman, stands in the on-deck circle. 1-1 pitch on the way to Medina. Fastball, just a bit high, above the belt. And also got to wonder at this point if the home plate umpire is going to try and expand this strike zone and just let Kim have a couple of pitches. 2-1 on the way. Fastball, that one far too high, however, over the head, nearly, in fact, all the way to the backstop. Is, if not for Cruz getting himself for that one, could have been another run. So as we approach 6:10, the 3-1 pitch on the way is a fastball that missed low and inside. Ball 4. As batter number 9 for the second inning in a row has come to the plate, and now that will bring out the head coach, Webster, and he's going to go to the bullpen. The second baseman, Jose Ortiz, is the man that he's pointing for to come in, and hopefully at this point throw some strikes, as Kim has now walked a total of 5 batters in these 2 innings. And we'll take a break here on the Volcanoes High School Game of the Week. My name is Evan Giddings, and you're listening to Lebanon versus Woodburn, 17-0 here on Volcanoes Television.
I'm gonna get you over there on the passenger side. I'm gonna put the radio on your favorite song. I'm gonna crank it on up and get you singing along. Hey, hey, alright. Girl, I'm digging on, hitting on you tonight. It ain't a maybe, it's hoping now, wishing I wanna. It's a damn right, hold you tight, baby, I'm gonna. So what's it gonna take? What's it gonna be? We can bump it on the boulevard or kick it in the country. Me and you and me, money back guarantee. Love you every night in Daytona. I'm gonna hey hey, alright. Girl, I'm digging on, hitting on you tonight. It ain't a maybe, it's hoping now, wishing I wanna. It's a damn right, hold you tight, baby. I'm gonna love you all night long till the crickets stop chirping. Girl, I ain't just flirting, I'm certain. I'm working on a long-term plan. Gonna be your man. Gonna put a little rock steady on your hand. Yeah. Hey, hey, alright. Girl, I'm digging on, hitting on you tonight. It ain't a maybe, it's hoping now, wishing I wanna. It's a damn right, hold you tight, baby, I'm gonna. Hey, hey, alright. Girl, I'm digging on, hitting on you tonight. It ain't a maybe, it's hoping now, wishing I wanna. It's a damn right, hold you tight, baby, I'm gonna. Yeah. Hey, hey, alright. Whoa, hey, hey, alright. Yeah.
Nothing says manly confidence like a mouthful of adult braces, right? Wrong. So get a smile you'll be proud of without the wires or brackets.
And so Jose Ortiz into the ball game here for the Woodburn Bulldogs as the first pitch swinging from Cole Johnson is over to first base. And, third base as the throw over to first is not in time. Actually, that was Adam Rapp as he legs out an infield single, and another run comes across. Lane Blisek scores is now the score 18-0 here in the top half of the 5th inning on this Volcanoes High School Game of the Week. The Bulldogs just simply haven't been able to put up much of a fight against Lebanon as the bases remain loaded. The 10th batter and the man who led off this inning, Cole Johnson, steps to the plate. Led off this inning with a single, came around to score on the RBI single from Cade Verdeck as the 1-0 pitch on the way. Popped up over to the right side. Sam Miller drifting back over into right field, and now it's going to be the second baseman who, I believe that's Stephen Kim, actually just simply swapped places with Jose Ortiz after that pitching change and is able to make the catch and record the second out of the inning. So 2 away now for Cooper Brooks. The right-handed batter will come to the plate as Ortiz just looking to fire in some strikes, hopefully allow these Warrior hitters to get themselves out. Just needing one more to get his team back into the dugout as the first pitch on the way is a fastball that misses low and outside 1-0. And now a fly ball lofted into center field, overs Contreras into left center field, and he will get there and make the catch. So the fifth inning comes to an end. Another 5 put up on the board by Lebanon. A total of 18 now on the board. 12 hits for them as they score 5 in that inning off of 4 hits, 3 runners left on base, and no errors as we head to the home half of the 5th inning. Woodburn coming to the plate looking to find some form of offense. Uriel Cruz, E.J. Barajas, and Jose Ortiz when we return to the high school game of the week here at Volcanoes Stadium. My name is Evan Giddings, and you're listening to Volcanoes Television.
She hits her knees and bows her head. Thanks the Lord for another day. I just thank him for my girl. Yeah, that's my girl in the passenger seat. Windows down, dancing around, causing a scene. That's my girl, sipping Crown of Sprite and a ball cap turned back. Ooh, she got me like, yeah, baby girl, you gone and done it again. Making all the guys wishing you were with them, but I bet they don't see what I see when I see my girl. Oh, my girl. Yeah, that's my girl. In my truck, in the songs that I sing with the radio up. My girl. In my heart, in my soul, in the air that I breathe every day. That's my girl. Yeah, everything. My girl. That's my girl in the passenger seat. Windows down, dancing around, causing a scene. That's my girl, sipping Crown of Sprite and a ball cap turned back. Ooh, she got me like, yeah, baby girl, you gone and done it again.
And so we enter the home half of the 4th inning here as Kevin Crowell for Lebanon will look to end this one as quickly as possible. Pinch hitter here for Woodburn. Tall right-handed batter in the form of Adrian Gutierrez, a 5'10", 210-pound junior catcher. Comes to the plate as the count is quickly 1-2. Crowell working as quickly as possible from the windup as the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball waved on and missed. Just quickly went away. So now E.J. Barajas will step to the plate as he's 0-1. Although one of the 3 Bulldogs who have reached base here today. Reached on an error by the shortstop, Gregory, back in the 3rd inning. And now his first pitch swinging. High fly ball popped up into left field. Playable there for Johnson as he comes in. Calls off the shortstop, Gregory, and makes the catch that is quickly 2 away. And despite it being the bottom of the 5th inning in high school games in regulation going 7, at this point with the slaughter rule in effect, 10-plus runs, the game would end effectively after this inning, with Lebanon being up 18-0 as Jose Ortiz takes the first pitch ball too high, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch, a ground ball right to the shortstop. Gregory goes over to first base, dug out by Kripe in time, and that's the ball game. 1-2-3 5th inning is Kevin Correll goes complete game, throws a no-hitter against the Woodburn Bulldogs. Do not muster more than 3 base runners, not a single hit, as Correll is able to do the job, and Lebanon wins 18-0. And so that'll do it here for everyone here at Volcanoes Stadium. A big thanks to Jerry Howard along with Rick Nelson for helping with the production this afternoon. Both of the teams in a unfortunately non-competitive but nonetheless good contest. 18-0 Lebanon gets the win as they move on to 9-7 in the Mid-Willamette Conference. Woodburn falls to 0-16, now 0-19 overall. Lebanon now 11-9 overall on the season as the number 9 5A OSAA ranked team will now move on. And that concludes our Volcanoes High School Game of the Week broadcast. Will be the last one this season, as we hope that you'll stick along with us and get ready for some Volcanoes baseball coming up this summer. June 15th is opening day as the Volcanoes will be here at Volcanoes Stadium. We hope to see plenty of those fresh faces out here at the ballpark. But nonetheless, again, thank you for tuning in. My name is Evan Giddings. It has been a pleasure. Wishing all of you a wonderful afternoon and a wonderful night.